My siren wailed as we raced for the cornfield. Allspice was in trouble. She didn't want to be just Allspice the alpaca. She wanted to be Allspice the adventurer. She headed off right into the cornfield. Soon she was lost. Being an adventurer, she did try several times to get out, but every time she got to what she thought was the edge, all she found was more corn. There were hundreds and hundreds of stalks everywhere she looked. It was like a maze with no way out. We brought along some very special rescue equipment for this emergency. In the back of the truck, we had a hot air balloon and a basket. Within seconds, the pups had it set to go. They tied one end of a long rope to me so they wouldn't blow away in the wind. And as the air in the balloon heated up, the pups slowly rose in the sky. Soon they were well over the tops of the corn. The wind took them for a ride. Each pup looked through binoculars for allspice. As they passed over her, Dilly shouted out. Farah lowered the balloon. Soon they were drifting down into the tall corn. Allspice climbed into the basket. In a moment, they were rising out of the corn again. Above the cornfield, everyone could see how easy it was to get lost. Tanker and Smudge pulled on the rope, and they floated on the air back to me. Back at the fire station, Allspice thanked us. She told us she'd wait a while before she became an adventurer again. Being ordinary Allspice was good enough for her. As she left, the pups noticed Bilko coming up the walk. He was carrying a great big picture. The picture was of the 4 pups. It was terrific, and the pups said so. But Dilly didn't smile very much. She noticed she looked exactly like the other pups. She asked Bilko why. Bilko told her he did that because they were all the same. They were all pups. They wore the same clothes and all looked like each other. The other pups thought it was kind of neat. As they went off to find a perfect place to hang the picture, Dilly looked in the mirror. She didn't want to look like everybody else. She wanted to look like Dilly. An idea grew in her head. Soon Dilly was rummaging through the costume box. Dilly pulled out a pair of high heels. When she put them on, she grew in the mirror. Dilly was thrilled. Every day she wore the same jacket. She wanted everyone to know she was a girl, so she pulled on a bright orange dress. It was sparkly and long. When she put it on, it made her look like a girl for sure. She didn't care that it was way too long for her, or that her hands disappeared under the sleeves. And in the bottom of the costume box was a great big floppy hat. None of the pups wore floppy hats, so Dilly pulled it out and put it on. It slid down on her nose. Dilly pushed it up again and looked in the mirror. Dilly felt she looked fabulous. In the kitchen, the pups and Bilko were finger painting. Dilly walked in trying to get their attention. Smudge said that he liked her costume. Dilly smiled. That made her happy. She told Bilko now she didn't look like the others. Bilko agreed. And with that, Dilly decided she would dress that way forever. As the pups finger painted, the paints glistened and made Dilly feel a lot like doing some painting herself. Dilly shoved up her sleeves and got right into the finger painting. And after a minute, her big long sleeves flopped down and fell right into the paint. And when Dilly pushed her painty sleeves up again, they got even gooier. Maybe now that she was dressed like this, finger painting wasn't for her. Later, when the pups were playing soccer, Dilly shuffled out to join them. As soon as the ball came her way, Dilly knew she was in trouble. The long, high heels sank into the grass, and when she went to kick the ball, her foot was stuck. The next time, her shoe went flying through the air. Now that she was dressed like this, maybe soccer wasn't for her either. As the others played, Dilly headed for my bumper. She would sit and watch. As she sat on my bumper, a bright yellow bird flew up and perched on my hood, and I whispered to Dilly to look quick. Dilly got off my bumper and looked up, and as she did, her hat slipped down. When she pushed it back again, the bird was gone. Dilly snatched the hat off. She told me she didn't want to look the same as the others. She wanted to be special, not just old Dilly anymore. She sighed. Her plan was giving her a lot of trouble. With this new Dilly, she couldn't finger paint or play soccer, and she missed things like the bird. I told her it was always hard to be what you are not. Being what you are is always the very best thing. Dilly kicked off her shoes, and she didn't want to be like everybody else. Why can't I be special? Well, I guess that surprised the other pups in Bilko because they all looked at her in shock. Farah was the first to speak. She told Dilly that she was the best person she knew at organizing things and getting them done. Tanker said she was amazing because she had so much energy and always had fun whatever she was doing. Smudge told her she was the best at making them all laugh. Bilko looked at Dilly and took her hand. He told her he only knew how to draw the outside of people, but if he could draw the inside of Dilly, it would take every single color of the rainbow. Dilly pulled the dress off. Underneath were her regular clothes. She said being ordinary Dilly was good enough for her. She hugged each one of her friends for helping her realize that no matter what you look like on the outside, a beautiful rainbow lives inside. You don't need costumes or makeup or anything else. And I hope if you ever feel ordinary, you'll remember that you are the most wonderful person. Everyone on earth would love to see the marvelous colors inside of you. Because I happen to know they are extraordinary.